Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're live! Welcome to another Saturday night. Welcome to the second episode of MPSP 2.0, MPSP Reborn, MPSP The Remix. Fucking
The
give it a
remix.
title. What is up? How are you
You about
fellas doing?
Fantastic. Were you about to say SPMP?
SPMP, PPSM.
Whatever.
Shaking
is
your
up?
PP on the exit. No, sorry.
I'm gonna fuck you
All
up now.
Man.
You fucked up my flow.
I had
All right, so
last week, man.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
times.
guys.
So glad to be back.
Thank you guys
Absolutely.
for whoever's back with us from last week. Last week we had a fucking blast. We're hoping to have the same this week and just keep entertaining people. So why don't we go ahead and get into intros real quick? I got two people with me as usual. Russell.
Hello,
where you're
everybody. I am here in my basement, very scary place, but I'm alive. Hi. How you guys doing, man? Good to be back on. Here we
Good,
go
buddy.
for week number 2.
Yeah.
See how long I'm waiting for me to say something inappropriate, and YouTube says you're canceled. Oh, that's awesome.
What's up, Wolf?
Hey, what's up, Wolf Jackals? I love that. He calls us Jackals.
All right,
That's
Sam.
beautiful.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Sam in the groups and Sam89 on Instagram. Here every Saturday night. Where you at, Nick?
All right. I'm Nick Brammer. You can find me on Facebook as Nick Brammer. You can find me on
Sir.
Twitter as @Brammer_Nick and on Instagram as Masterpiece_Shippies.
Let me ask you, Nick, what do you use Twitter for?
Rants at like 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, because I feel like I have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I probably spend an equal amount of time on each one.
Yeah.
But each one definitely has like a different utility for me.
Yeah.
Like Instagram is just toy shit mostly, and because like I'll have people from work that'll try to follow me on Instagram, and because my account's private, and I just never let them do it because I'm like, I don't want these people to know. Let me know this shit like to this level. It's weird. And then like Facebook, like it's family and friends, and like real life friends, and then like obviously in the groups. But then Twitter is sports and politics for me, man. I kind of keep it to just that.
Celebrities. I'm a celebrity stalker on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I like to comment on shit. And some celebrities, most celebrities, never see what the fuck you say anyway. I don't care, right?
Yeah.
But the occasional celebrity that does monitor their Twitter, you say something obnoxious enough, you might get them to respond. Back
and then
to
like
you.
the cool thing about Twitter is that you have that option to make the feed chronological still.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is like, god damn, I wish Instagram and Facebook still did that. Or
Well,
I wish they at
that'd be
least
cool.
had the option, like to at
On the
least give the
desktop,
option.
you can.
What on Instagram,
On Facebook.
on Facebook?
Oh,
Yeah,
shit, really?
I hardly ever. Dude, this is the only time I use desktop Facebook.
Even on the phone, like when you scroll down,
Yeah.
if you like scroll up on your main feed, there should be three. If you're on Android, it should be like 3 things. There should be like home, favorites, and recent. And you click on recent, and it does your feed in chronological
Okay, yeah,
order.
that's what Wolfie said too. That they have an option. I need to figure that out on my phone at least. Because this is the only time I ever use desktop Facebook is when we're recording or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Instagram, dude, Instagram's been bad lately. I feel like I follow like I was looking today. I follow like 600 something people, and I probably see 5 accounts. You know what I mean? Like it's just like,
Shit, really.
and I guess like it's the algorithm like giving you what you respond to, but it's like a weird loop. Like I respond to these accounts maybe because I liked what they were doing or whatever, but then like because of that, those are the only ones I'd see. And then because of that, those are the only ones I'd respond to. And then because of that, like they get pushed more and more and more. And I don't know, it's weird because I saw some posts from some people that I follow that are like, heavy into like customizing. Maybe they make their own like 3D printed stuff or just custom figures in general, like on a larger scale, like kind of not like a business that's like all they do, but like is a legitimate side hustle. And they were talking about how like I guess you can like look at your metrics or whatever, and there is like it's like people with like 13,000 followers and saying that like their posts only reach like 400 people or something like that. And it's like, I don't know. And they said like, it's like a recent change that they did. I don't know too much about it. So I probably sound like an idiot, you know what I mean? But
no, I don't think so, man. Like basically these algorithms push the content to you in whatever way the platform wants it, so they're all trying to engage you with the most amount of content as possible. So like if you're responding to shit, there should be showing you stuff like adjacent to that.
Yeah, and like that's what you get like on Instagram and like basically the search thing. You know what I mean? And it's like I can clearly see that that's like what's happening is like, yeah, it's stuff that it's like toys and food basically.
Yeah.
Like videos like people making pizza or whatever, and then like
Yeah, see like after Russ went, like I can tell you what my breakdown is. Facebook is basically Rock and Messenger. Right?
Yeah.
Fucking Twitter is celebrities, comics, and sports. And Instagram is toy customizing, goth chicks and fishnets, and celebrity chicks.
Yeah.
And TikTok is pastel goths, BDSM, and pastel goths, BDSM.
I like
and whatever fucking trips my boat on that shit.
Yeah, I like to track down furries on TikTok. They're great.
I've never messed around. I don't even have the app. Like I've never logged in or anything on.
Let me tell you, Sam, it's mind blowing the freaky fucking people that just.
And cosplayers too.
Oh yeah, the cosplayers are cool though. Yes, yeah, definitely. You're right, Big Titty. That's true. You're very much.
They're talented as shit, man. Like the cosplayers on TikTok.
It's amazing the makeup work that they do. Holy shit, it's incredible.
I've seen some amazing shit on there, and there's actually like a good comics community on TikTok too.
Yeah, so that's the thing with like the community stuff, because like I feel like on Instagram, that's where I first had any idea that there were other adults that collected toys, was on there. And back in like 2012, like I was like I got on there and like just through hashtags, I was like, oh shit, other people doing that. So like it's 10 years now I've been on there, and I feel like really connected at least with like the toy community, specifically like the toy customizing community there. And it's like on Twitter, like I know that there is one, but like how do I even
how do you find anything on
like,
Twitter?
How do you find it and then like get into it? And I don't know, it's just so that's why I'm like, I'm not even gonna fuck with this on this app. I already have it here. It'd probably be the same people that I'm interacting with already, on Instagram. So it's like, what's the point?
Well, Instagram and TikTok are kind of incestuous, like they have like a lot of the same followers. The people on Instagram, like
people cross post their content because you basically can 1-to-1 from TikTok to Instagram at least.
And now with the Facebook stories and stuff, people are doing the same thing.
So it's like a lot of, because that's where I've seen some cosplay stuff too, where like this lady it's made like a Mandalorian like rifle, like the one that he uses, just like out of like foam and paper and stuff. And I was like, this is super interesting. Like,
what's up, Matt? He says he can barely run fucking Facebook. I feel your pain,
dude. You know what? It's funny because I never would have even fucked with anything else other than Facebook if it wasn't for like my kids telling me, you need to check this out, like Reddit. Reddit is insane, dude. That's there's crazy. I need to
not mess around and get that app because I always get like pulled to it, like just searching random things, and then
it's good, but it's great. But you gotta be careful with like the dark corners you might go into. You gotta be careful. It's like any kind of thing, you gotta watch yourself. It's just you got the fun stuff, and then you got like the stupid demented shit,
Yeah. Just real quick, Lowry brings up a really good point in the chat. Happy birthday, Kevin and EE.
Oh my goodness, guys!
It's
Yeah, I
EE
hope
Prime's
Kevin's having a
birthday.
good one, man. I hope
So
he's
how-
having a terrible night.
I mean, how old is that ancient motherfucker now? He's got to
E?
be up there. Yeah,
he's
he's
older
gotta
than dirt,
be.
man.
He's
won't
got to be
tell
old
you.
as himself, dude.
He won't tell you because he can't count that high.
Yeah, he lost count a long time
Yeah,
ago.
once he ran out of fingers and toes, he stopped counting. I'm glad he's not in the chat.
I so love that motherfucker. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. E's good people.
Hey, which
Talk-
Kevin?
good dude,
Which
man.
Kevin's birthday is it?
Kevin Riddell.
Kevin R. Yeah, so he's
Yeah,
local to me.
okay.
Yeah,
He's 20 minutes away from me. That's my dog, man. He's a good dude.
yeah. We were talking about that. He picked something up for you. Somewhere.
Yeah, we traded one time like during COVID, but
Oh,
yeah,
no
it's funny.
shit,
He
okay.
like he knew some people that like I lived right around the corner from, and it's crazy. Like, and it's like we didn't meet locally. Like we met through the realm, and then realized that we were local. So
it's one of those
that's
things
a
like,
good,
oh,
that's a really
hey.
good dude. Happy birthday to those guys. Well,
Oh shit! What's up, KJ?
happy birthday to Kevin.
KJ Smith in
Yeah.
the house.
KJ Matt Hurd's in there. What's up, Matt Hurd? Matt Hurd got a
Alright,
haircut. I'm sure
man.
he's real happy about that.
Now, guys, we talked about some happy stuff, so let's go ahead and get into what you need to get into, Sam.
Yeah,
Depression.
fucking we lost Nightwing and him, man. Rest in peace. You know, if I've known Night as long as he was synonymous with like the realm stuff for a long time.
Mhm.
And if you knew Night, you knew he was an insane person. Right. You know, and
Yeah.
I had some good times with that dude. I had some negative interactions, you know, we would go head to head from time to time, but you know, like, he was an institution in all this hangouts and podcasts and stuff. And close that down.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, like he was just always a thing, and you know, he was a misfit, I should say, just like the rest of us, man.
A misfit sounds okay too.
Yeah. But yeah, he was a misfit just like the rest of us, man. And sucks to lose one of, you know, I consider he's one of our own, man.
Absolutely.
Nick, you said it best, you know, hold your loved ones tight. You never know, man.
Yeah, man.
He and I had our ups and downs, man. You know, he was an interesting dude, to say the least. And I gotta say that it sucks. It sucks, man. It really does suck. I feel like this goddamn has been a really rough couple years. It's been a rough couple years.
Yeah, for sure. Rough 2022 already a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but 2020 has a starting off so great. I feel like we're all going to be if this is all ever said and done. Probably everyone's going to be touched by this in one way or another. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and you know, like I said, the political stuff. He and I used to. I got to a point where I had to like ignore him from stay away from that. You know.
Yeah,
but then he was outspoken.
Yeah, and that's a good point, man. It's like, you know, you have all that shit, and then like none of it fucking matters. You know what I mean? Because it's like at the end of the day, like you focus on what brought us all together, and it was this stuff that.
Absolutely.
When you said he was an institution, yeah, that's exactly it. Nightwing him was like your Cliff Clavin or Norm of The Rock.
Yeah, that's a good.
You came in.
Kind of was. Yeah. Yeah.
When the ROC does their Monday night shows, you expected Nightwing and him to be there in the chat,
and if he wasn't, it's weird.
Yeah, and like I saw a bunch of people talking about, you know, how they had all these different interactions with him. I wasn't aware of that, like that. You know, that he reached out and talked to and touched so many people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chuck C.
What's up, Skinny?
Yeah, Chuck C said something that kind of like, I was like, hit me in the feels, you know, just about him like checking up on him and it's like, man, just those little things, you know.
Yeah, man, because I was in the ETR chat on Monday and everybody was asking about him, and then the news came later in the week, and a lot of people, I guess people last week had heard that, you know, he had some COVID problems, and when he wasn't there on Monday, a lot of people that, you know, interact with him kind of had a feeling.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it sucks. It's like you kind of have to just assume the worst.
Burgess.
But it's funny. This is weird to
Okay,
see that because you noticed his absence. You definitely noticed his absence, and we'll feel his absence for quite a while. I'm sure it'll be.
Someone's gonna have to fill that void,
it was like,
and,
man,
he was always there, So
yeah,
Yeah,
see what
man.
happens.
So somebody's got to take over his mantle of posting the chats.
Yeah, for sure.
That's gonna be some interesting stuff, man. It's gonna be weird. Like, I remember back in the hangout days. That dude was a that dude
when
got
he
some
went,
le-
when
he's
he
got
was
some
when he was
legendary-
on the air,
he's got some legendary moments.
He was something else, man.
Remember that shitty ass mic and those crap headphones he had? Jesus Christ!
Oh, man,
Hey, always drinking Coors Original, tall 2x4s and Coors Original, dude. Just pounding
man.
the mugs.
Yeah, man. We
drinking them the way I do Stags.
Oh, man.
and the shit that would come out of his mouth sometimes, he would kill me, dude.
Like I
I'd
said,
be like,
he was
dude,
an
what?
insane person.
There were times
he
would make me go,
God
"Did
bless
you
him.
just say that? Oh my god!" And make me, I'll be getting shocked by it. It's like, what the fuck?
He was that dude for sure, man.
Yeah, man. But he'll be missed, man. He'll be missed.
Hate to see it for sure. Yeah, definitely in this community.
Definitely. So,
yeah, it's sad, man. Burgess has a good
for sure
joint here.
Yeah.
Dude always checked up on people and even supported our foundation, even though we didn't agree politically. Seemed like a cool dude.
Yeah. He had this,
and it's like that's just an example of just like none of that stuff. It's important to some people, and some people let it. Dude, I've seen it happen with people I'm close with, like through the realm, where it's like they let that stuff interrupt friendships or whatever. But if you don't, you have situations like this, right, where you can say, "Yeah, I disagree with you on this, but I know you're a good person. You just have your beliefs, and they're different than mine. That's okay, right?"
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, you're right, and then that could be a lesson to us all,
But I just want to be honest and say, like, him and I did not get along very well, and I wanted to give people that cared about him a chance to mourn the dude. But like, I also didn't want to sit up here and start like crying or anything and like acting. But like, I am glad that he had interactions with people that people will remember.
Sure. No, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, like I say, in the end, it's a human life.
Yeah.
Another one. Yeah. We lost, and close to us too. So, yeah. So we're rest in peace.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All these posting chats up in the sky now, man. We're good to go.
For sure.
Yeah.
Watching us and laughing, man.
Yeah, he can see the new Star Trek now.
Hell yeah. All right.
We'll go ahead and move off of that, but it's okay to mourn, guys. It's okay.
Definitely. It's good.
So like, if anybody needs to talk or anything, everybody knows how to hit us up. All right.
Definitely.
Now, Russell.
Oh, we're gonna hit on it. Ready? Let's dive right into it, guys. We had some good stuff going down in the niffle today. This week, I should say. The niffle.
I like that. The niffle.
NFL news. Just gonna top it off here. We're gonna say, well, we all know there's a lawsuit that's been filed against the NFL. This is interesting. The other day, the NFL has the Rooney Rule, which basically says that if a team is getting ready to hire somebody for coaching, I think GMs are. I thought GMs were included on it too. I don't think they used to not be, but I think they do now. But
it's it's for all front office.
It is for all front office. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
So and including coaching, that they have to interview. I think it's at least 2 minority candidates.
Right.
Okay. Now we all know, and everyone knows that in the Rooney Rule in concept, it's a good thing. Okay, because it's making teams have to actually not go straight for the good old boy network and have to, actually.
Dude, so Russ, that's something that, because whenever I would hear criticisms about that, like I'd always think like, well, like, are people really, thinking like that still, like to that extent anymore? But then it's like when you mention like the network of just people who know each other and like family ties and things like that, it's like look at how many of it's like Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, both like their sons both coach
Sure.
for their teams underneath them.
Absolutely.
You know, so and that's just a
Absolutely.
real quick aside that I thought of. Right?
It's a good point because there's all these connections, whether it be family or there's what they call coaching trees, right? This guy worked
Yeah.
as an assistant under this guy, and he became a head coach. He's that kind of thing, and so all those dudes they tend to be attracted to get that the guy that right?
Yeah.
But this makes it where you got to actually look outside those guys, and the color of your skin is whatever it is. The problem is most of these people tend to be white. Let's be real here, okay?
Yeah,
yeah.
and just to piggyback onto what you guys are saying, like if anything like demonstrated the need for the Rooney Rule, it was fucking asshole in Oakland, well, Las Vegas, dickhead that just got fired.
John Gruden.
Yeah, Chucky.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, that's and it's like you guys know, like I follow like college wrestling really closely, and like I don't know if you guys are familiar with the name Dan Gable, but like he coached at Iowa for a shit ton of years, won a ton of national titles. Probably a third of D1 coaches wrestled for him. You know what I mean? So it's like that's just an example, like the coaching tree, and then like the other third wrestled for John Smith at Oklahoma State, and then it's like the other third who's kind of from wherever, but that's definitely a thing, man.
And there's relationships there, right? And I don't think that's not necessarily a bad thing, but what it is it tends to keep the jobs just staying amongst these people,
and that I feel like you said, like more addresses the breaking up of that network more than it does of race and things like that, but
it tends to, but it's really in place to make sure that minority candidates get a fair shake. Okay. Now, most teams, and I hate this, I don't like saying it, but it's true. It's very true in the NFL. Most teams, the Rooney Rule is bullshit. To not every team, but a lot of teams, it's bullshit, right? The way they look at it is, well, we'll just do the bare minimum of what we have to do to get past it.
Quota almost.
Right. We'll talk to this guy and like when they have no intention of even hiring this dude. Sometimes it's a bullshit interview. They're just bringing him in. They've had teams bring a dude in that's on their staff already because of the color of his skin. Talk to him for a couple of minutes and say that was his interview. That's one down. Boom. Bring it out.
Dude. And that's a thing that works when you have a rule like that that can kind of like fuck with people. You know what I mean? I had when I worked in my last district, I had a teacher who they like invited to come to this conference or whatever, and then and he thought it was on the merits, right? And he would like saying that like this dude was like an awesome teacher, like one of the most professional people I've ever worked with, and then like it came out through conversation later that like they chose him to do that to fill like a quota, and he was like, and it sucks because it's like this dude was a better teacher than I'll ever be. You know what I mean? But yet they were like, well, we're going to bring you just to kind of, because we need to kind of have someone that looks like you, and it's fucked up. You know what I mean?
Fucked up, exactly.
Yeah.
And it made him think like he didn't earn that spot. And I would have felt like that too. Like that would have fucked with me, man.
It's embarrassing, humiliating. And
it's
almost like,
and it's like a lot of those rules, they're so well intentioned. And I think they do some good, a lot of good, I'll say. But man, it's like those, I don't know, just kind of having to question that. Like, I know for him that was tough, and just hearing his story, I was like, that's
so
with all the problems with the Rooney Rule, like we still see a need for it. You know what I'm saying? We still see a need for it, and no matter how bad the Rooney Rule is, it's all we got right now.
I'll say, and so so his lawsuit is centered around basically he was going to interview for the Giants. He got a message, I don't know, a message or text message, whatever it was, from Bill Belichick. Now Bill Belichick knows a lot of coaches. There's a lot of dudes that coached with him, coached under him. He's like, remember that network we're talking about? Belichick's got a huge network of guys he knows, right? And Belichick apparently sent Flores this message mistakenly. It wasn't supposed to go to him. It was supposed to go to the coach who the Giants were hiring. Mind you, this is happening before Flores went to interview with the Giants for the job. Now, Flores being a black coach, obviously he felt, and he still went for the interview. He did go do the interview because I think it was important that he did do the interview, even though he knew it was bullshit and they weren't going to hire him. because they were just using him as the token black guy to interview to get past the Rooney Rule. He knew this, but he still did it. It was important that he did it because now no one can say that, well, he didn't even show up at the interview.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He did. He did the interview, even though it was a bullshit interview, and they had no intention of hiring him. And look, I know. Look, I've had a couple of. I'm sure EE is probably a Giants fan who's defending the Giants to the nines. I know. I had a couple of friends of mine who were doing that are.
Hey, what a hill to die on, man!
What a hill to die on, yeah. And I said, but here's the thing about the Giants, and I'm not trying to make this a bash the Giants thing anyway, because I got plenty of things to bash them about.
They got enough problems.
Yeah, they do. But the Giants are not the only team that does this, guys. They're just the dummies that got caught because they ran their mouth and they talk in the and then now the argument is, well, Belichick has nothing to do with the Giants organization. Well, no, he doesn't, but he's tight knitted with all the coaches.
Yeah.
And again, so he hears things and he knows. So
what did Belichick say? Don't hire this guy?
No, basically Belichick congratulated. Well, it was supposed to be congratulating the guy who got the job. I can't remember who got the job. But it actually, it was the wrong person because Belichick, the old geezer fuck, doesn't know how to use.
He's probably looking at his phone like this.
Yeah, right. So
that's that old people move. They type with their one index finger.
On top of that, this dude is also claiming that the Dolphins were trying to pay him to throw games.
No way.
No shit. This is before.
Was that him too?
Like, what if a scam?
The Dolphins are another team that he is suing. Yes,
are playing this dude to throw games.
Are you sure?
Giants? They just lose games for free,
dude. I'm telling you, it's him too. Because he's also he's suing the Giants and the Dolphins, and I can't remember who the third team is. And there's three main teams in the lawsuit. I want to say it's Denver. I think it might be Denver.
Hey, have you guys seen that meme where it's that movie with Jason Sudeikis and Jennifer Aniston, and then it's that Will Poulter kid, and he's like, "Wait, they're paying you guys?" I just pictured this meme, but it's the Dolphins getting paid to lose, and the Giants are like, "Wait, they're paying you to lose?"
No, and EE says something here that I think is important. The thinking is
they interviewed him after the fact is the way.
The Giants forgot about the Rooney Rule basically, so they just had to bring in Flores to basically have to do interview a black guy, to say, "Hey, we interviewed a black dude," right? That's what it was about, right? That's what the thinking is.
He's like, "Send me a link here,"
man. So I think here's the thing, and EE. Calm down, EE. I'm not bashing the Giants. If you think the Giants are the only team,
he's like, "Send me a link. It's my birthday."
It's not. The Giants are not the only team that does this. I'm gonna say every team, but I guarantee you most teams in the NFL do this shit all the time. They know who they want to go after, and they don't care about the rule. And the NFL doesn't enforce it. They really are shit at enforcing it. It's terrible. So
and just to piggyback on this, after Brian Flores made these,
these are accusations right now.
Accusations, yeah.
Let's be
with
that.
Hugh Jackson, former coach of the Browns, came out and said that he was paid by the Browns to lose games. Well, the Browns pushed back and were like, "Really, motherfucker?" Yeah, and Hugh Jackson recanted.
Right.
The Browns didn't pay him to lose.
Yeah, Hugh Jackson needs to shut up. Ain't no one pay him to lose. He sucks.
He's like, no, but they paid me to coach them, and we lost.
But Nick, you just mentioned something we have to be careful of. We have to be careful of motherfuckers trying to jump on this, okay, and try to make it about them too.
Yeah.
When it's not. It's not about you, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackson, you suck.
Hugh Jackman.
You're
the Wolverine,
I call
bro.
Hugh Jackman.
You're the Wolverine. What are you doing trying to coach, bitch?
Yeah, right.
Got enough money.
You were a shit coach, and I remember I saw him on Hard Knocks. He was terrible.
Just real quick to touch on this. Oh, and here you go, guys. Eric Burgess says, "I heard Hugh say it was implied." He said that first, and then when they pushed on him, he said, "Oh no, I was wrong." Yeah.
Yeah, so
fuck Hugh Jackson.
He's trying. Okay, yeah. So that's what I mean. We got to be careful of this because sometimes this is where you got to be careful. Weed it out. Who's telling the truth and who's lying? Who's just jumping on the bandwagon? And
Hugh
right
Jackson
now,
said some wild shit about the Browns because he had like the worst 2 seasons in the history of any head coach ever.
he's bitter. He's bitter. He's bitter because he failed as a coach.
Yeah.
He did. He failed as a coach.
And then
Now,
and then he went fucking cross division to become a coordinator and got pissed off when he didn't get that head job.
Yep.
And now he's coaching at
Hugh
Grambling.
Jackman. That's funny to me.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. I heard that, but
And I'd like you guys to welcome to the show, Birthday Boy and Provocateur EE
The only reason
Prime.
we're letting him on is because it's his birthday, man. We'll
before you start yelling at me.
No, I'm not yelling at you.
bashing the
I
Giants.
just I know. I just want you to hear me out.
Okay.
I heard everything Flores said, right?
Okay.
The shit that went on with Miami is wild. Like,
It is.
to me,
That's true.
that's where your grievance should be. Now,
Agreed.
typical job hiring process, because like this is like kind of now what I do for a living, working with Indeed and people who are looking for jobs and helping them find people to hire.
Right.
You have, I'm going to schedule 5, 6, 7, 8 interviews.
Okay.
Right? I interview the first person. I interview the second person. I'm in love with the second person. I know this is my guy, but I still have 8 other interviews left. You still have to, you don't cancel those interviews on people. No company, no job does that. You're still going to, they might not schedule anymore after that. Cause like, this is my guy, but we still got to interview everybody else we scheduled.
Yeah.
So the whole saying that the Giants already had their mind made up, there's nothing it's just how it is when you interview 10, 15, every job, every company does it. Now, the Rooney Rule, it's a whole other thing. Making this a race thing, I don't know. Never has anyone ever said anything about Giants being racist before. This is the first time you've ever heard this coming out. Even players, they don't bitch about it. It could be, it could not be.
Yeah,
I understand the coaching umbrellas that go on in the NFL need to be broken up. 100%. And it's like all these guys that come from the Belichick coaching tree, they all suck anyway. After Underbelly, they all fucking suck. You know, our last coach we just fired. You know,
I think
to sit there and blame racism that you didn't get the job. My concern, and if I'm the Giants,
winning football games.
That's for one. 2, who the fuck is telling Belichick this information beforehand?
That's a good point.
That's an internal racism is not just like anything. There's a leak on our hiring process right now on who we're going to hire. You don't.
Now, again,
that's bad.
The good old boy network is kicking in here, but I know what you're saying. Teams need to lock that shit up because good old boy network should not trump team shit. Teams be able to keep shit in house, and I understand. I agree with that. And my problem is that I feel like, and I'm not trying to diss on Flores either. I get but we got to be careful when we make accusations like this. I mean, he's filing a lawsuit and all this shit because immediately though the Giants are made to be the villains. Yep. And even I was a little guilty of it.
For sure.
I wanted to vilify him a little bit too till I thought about it. And Anna went through the same thing you just said. She recently has been doing interviews trying to replace somebody on her staff. And she had her mind pretty much made up on a guy, but she had more interviews than she did.
Exactly.
She's not going to cancel.
And then I feel like just in this kind of climate, like there's no sanction for making a claim like this. Even if it turns out to be bullshit, you could be like, well, what do they expect? Like, given all this shit that's happened in the past or whatever. So it's like, well, and I'm not just saying with just this case, but I feel like just in general, like when you make a claim like that, like if you're wrong or you're proved to be false, like there's really nothing that happens.
You can't prove any. You can't prove it though.
This
is something that's hard to prove. You can't unless an email. Unless there's an email somewhere saying, "Hey, hey, go with the white guy. I prefer the white guy over." Exactly, you can find that email. Look, I'll tell you right now, the Mariners ordered me. I'm the first one to tell you, entire Giants ownership needs to go if that's true.
Yeah,
I would.
But here's
if you. Well, hey, we've seen the worst.
Well,
we've seen these things come out before.
I just
As soon as
I just said that, you're right. I kind of
what's his name from the Clippers? What was his name for the Clippers again? I forget his name. Sterling. Remember his shit? And all these accusations. It sounds to me he's pissed off.
And you could be right.
And he has a right to be pissed off with the Dolphins. You're basically making it hard for me to do my job.
Yeah.
Like when this first came out, I started
incentivizing me against doing my job.
You're making me look bad because this coach actually has an under 500 record as a coach.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it all first came out, I started looking. I said, "Man, maybe he ain't get the job because your record as a coach sucks."
Yeah.
But then you hear all the things that the Dolphins were doing to him behind his back.
Right.
How can you be successful?
Also, look
as a coach.
Just saying, he managed to win some games this year with a really rough situations
against everything with your management doing that to you.
Yeah,
I give
undercutting you, like that's tough, man. That's tough.
Exactly. You're not going to win like that.
But by filing this lawsuit, we're probably going to find out where Belichick got that information from.
That's what I want to know.
They're going to have the ability to subpoena his ass and put him on the stand. And he better not fucking lie because he's going to go to jail if he lies. So.
And now,
well, the thing is if this dude's claims are found not to be with any basis and he gets laughed out of court, the Giants are going to fucking turn around and sue his ass.
Probably.
Guaranteed.
Possibly, but I would say
probably for perhaps, what would it be, like defamation or something like?
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do it
because that's an accusation. That's a hell of an accusation.
The NFL,
man, if you can't
the
prove
NFL needs to investigate this. That's what needs to happen. And initially, here's the problem. Initially, the NFL just said, "Get the fuck out of here." They flat out refused it. Now when you do that, you're basically people can take it as you just don't care about it. And that's not. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
But I think the NFL needs to say, okay, now the NFL is going to be looking into it. I understand they are going to be investigating. But
it might not have met their threshold for investigation. Also,
it would not have. But what's the good of having the Rooney Rule if you don't fucking uphold it, if you don't make sure teams are doing it. I'm not. No. Had their favorite guy. But you got to interview everybody and keep your fucking mouth shut about who you're hiring before you. Mm-hmm. I mean,
for them to send out that text message or even let that information out, that just shows a lack of discipline on somebody's. It does. Which is that's unprofessional, right?
But this is also rampant in sports. Think about it.
Of course.
How many times do you hear reporters? Inside information leaking the trades before they happen and this before they happen, and
millions of dollars, just having that information, right?
And now it's turned into something a lot bigger because someone opened their mouth. And Belichick, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Part of me wouldn't be surprised if Belichick did it on purpose, just to fuck another team over.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. It is Belichick.
Get inside some people's heads. Get them thinking about anything other than football,
Here's the other reason he's probably going to have another reason that he's going to have to sue the NFL later on. Is because of this accusation that he's made now, okay?
He's not going to get a job.
He's never going to get work in the NFL again. Never. He'll be gone.
I'm not going to lie. I'll be honest. I'm not interviewing someone like this because if I don't go with you, are you going to sue me now?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Exactly.
Tough, man. That's
but because I'm saying this, I'm trying to act like he's being legit with this when I say this, okay? If he's standing up for something he believes in, and he's trying to defend, and he's literally
absolutely,
and he's trying to defend himself. That's one thing. And if the NFL blackballs him for that, then shame on the NFL because they did the same thing to another guy we know who was a quarterback and decided to take a knee for the fucking national anthem.
All right.
And they made a big deal about that.
He's like, I'm out.
Look, I'm not going to get into this Kaepernick thing because you guys people don't want to hear what I have to say about it.
I don't mean to do that. I'm just talking about the league. The league has a bad habit of oh, we don't like what you're or how you feel about something. We're just gonna boot your ass. That's no.
That's how Mike Kaepernick don't have a job though.
Yeah, no. Well, I know that. I don't think he's a great quarterback.
Kaepernick, Kaepernick doesn't have a job because Kaepernick isn't as good enough to be in the league.
Look, no. I will never sit there and say he's not good enough to be in the league.
He could be a backup,
and he's even better than a lot of starters out. And some starters out there. Don't get me wrong. This is what I've always said. If this was Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Cam Newton, when Cam Newton was at his top, do you think someone wouldn't have signed him? The reason why Cam didn't have a job is because you're a halfway decent quarterback with a lot of media baggage and a lot of distractions.
That's a good point.
Your distractions can't outweigh your ability to win. Because the NFL will forgive. Remember Popeye Jones?
Yeah.
You know, they will forgive all kinds of shit. Look at Michael Vick.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like if he wants to be a starter in the league now.
Yeah.
How even like a couple years ago, like how long has he been out of the league now?
A long time now. It's too late for that.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late for him to be a starter to get paid like a starter, and that's what he wants.
You know, if I'm looking for a quarterback, and I'm looking at the pool of available players, right? You got X, Y, A, B, C, D, E. Oh, E. He's better than what we have right now, but he comes with a lot of baggage.
Yeah,
it's just a lot that you have to. It's not worth it. It's not worth the team distraction.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to get eyes off of like you as a football team, right? And
you know,
burning jerseys and shit.
Hold on a second. It says but he still had it 2 years ago, Nick. It was still kept out. Nobody knows if he still had it 2 years ago because nobody saw that film.
Yeah, I don't know.
And remember, this is a quarterback. Who not only got benched because he wasn't playing well before all this happened. You know, he's had good moments. He's had bad moments. It's not like the man was a star already.
Yeah, well, it was like
this is a quarterback. It isn't Patrick Mahomes.
That's what I'm saying. Like his baggage outweighs what he brings to a team at this point in time.
Maybe even a few years ago. I don't know.
You know, even at the time it all happened.
Yeah,
his baggage, the controversy he caused. Because he's not the first player to kneel. He won't be the last.
No.
And I think what you're saying though is I think Flores is put himself in that category now.
That's why I said Kaepernick 2.0.
And I think when you say he's not worth the baggage, I think what people hear is he's not skilled enough, he's not good enough, he's not whatever. But it's but again, they're saying he's not worth the baggage. So
I'm not saying that's my opinion. I'm saying that's what business looking at him to have him as the face of their franchise.
That's what you got to look at it because that's what these people do. They count. Well, they're bean counters, right? Like
I just think that Flores. I hope to God he better be legit with this. Right. He better be sure. But I don't want to go too deep into it, but he better be because he is going to be blackballed, and he better be But if he's proven legitly right, okay, about and then maybe that could reverse the trend. The NFL's got some explaining to do if it's proved that there's any seedy wrongdoing,
and that's tough. That's tough. You know? That's going to be tough, man.
The Giants have some explaining to do on how this information leaked.
Oh, I agree with you on that.
100%.
They do. They absolutely do.
I don't. It's a shame because I don't think Flores should be blackballed for this, whether it's right or not or whatever.
I don't think he should be either. You know how that is.
You cannot prove that this was a racist decision on the Giants' part. You can't, though.
That's a tough road to hoe.
It is.
Unless you have it in writing somewhere, like Sterling
in the court of law, you can't prove that. Like unless you said, you got to have it in writing.
Yeah, just real
that,
quick, I just want to touch on something about Kaepernick also too. Kaepernick did have before this thing just a couple of years ago where he did the fucking workout where they changed the venue and all that other bullshit. Even before that, he had opportunities to start in this league in the league for 2 different teams, and he turned them down: Denver and Baltimore. And Baltimore, actually, he didn't turn down. He got the offer rescinded because his girlfriend decided to open her big mouth.
Whoa, what happened? I didn't know about that.
Brink asked the question about are there any other leagues that Kaepernick could have
He had an opportunity when they had the
XFL. He wouldn't do it.
He had a chance. I think there was also a Canadian football offer, I believe, too.
Yeah, but the thing is if the XFL offers again when they come back, he may do it because hey, The Rock owns it now.
Good point.
The idea that he sacrificed his career and his money, he didn't, because he made more money in the end with everything that happened afterwards than he ever would have been in the NFL.
Yeah, he's got like Spike Lee's making a movie about him now, so like he's caking and like he's not, and he's giving back a lot too. But it's like he's set.
I'm more, and I know other people ain't gonna like this, but I'm more annoyed by the fact that these accusations he's making to the Dolphins. If the Dolphins, if there's evidence,
that's a real issue. And don't get me wrong, if the Giants didn't hire Flores because he's a minority, that is just as big an issue, if not even bigger. But I don't think there's any real basis off of that just because they had their mind made up about an earlier candidate that they interviewed earlier that week.
Like I said, we have to find. Like I said, they're going to dig in. They're going to find out, and if it's legit, it's legit. If it's not, we'll know.
I said, if it's legit, the Mara's got to go. As much as I love my Giants and I love my owners, they got to go.
Let's go from one particularly possibly bad owner to a really bad fucking owner. You ready? So on Capitol Hill this week, Washington Redskins owner Dan Snyder had some new allegations thrown his way. Apparently he likes to put his hand up women's skirts while he's sitting at dinner with them. By the employees, and then also try to force them into his limousine because he wants to have that little playtime in the car. And his lawyer is the one that has to talk sense to him and tell him, no, Dan, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. Yeah, apparently. So there's I'm telling you, I don't know how this guy still owns a football team. I don't know how the NFL has said.
How old is he?
How old is he now? Settle it out of court.
Look,
Dan Snyder's got to be in his 50s, 60s, something. I don't know how old he is.
Look,
there.
50, 60.
No, he's 57.
He ain't that old. He should know. And
he's a young looking dude.
This is not me making excuses for older or younger men, but that day and age of
he can't blame it on senility.
You can't do that.
The motherfucker had the nerve to also say, "Oh, this is the allegation is totally false." Okay, of course you're going to say that. Then he said, "It also was supposed to be happened 13 years ago." Like he's trying to act like it was 13 years ago.
He's like it was made up, but also it didn't happen that recently.
Yeah, right. So that doesn't. So I remember it anything anyway. I was like, "Wait a minute,
what are you talking about?"
I said, "Wait a minute, you clown."
Picture it, Sicily.
Real quick, I want to backtrack real quick before anybody gets the wrong idea. I was 100% in favor of Kaepernick and his kneeling. It didn't bother me. I don't find it offensive. He has every right. He had every right. Please understand that right now. I never, I totally supported him, and it just. The narrative got switched on what it really was on him. And I think he then in the end got smart and played everybody for a fool and made his money this way, though.
Sure.
And just to piggyback onto what you're saying, if I ever say like, Kaepernick did this or that, or like he shouldn't be in the league or whatever, most of that is me trying to talk from the perspective of like the team or an owner. It's not my personal perspective. Though at this point in time, I'll be honest, I don't think he has a spot in the league.
No, it's been too long. It's been too long.
Yeah,
it's been too long. You can't be out the league that long.
Yeah.
So he's that's fine. But he's done ski. But anyway, this Washington. So by the way, the allegations that this woman made, by the way, there was also a one of the a team like VP or vice president was there or something that could collaborate what she was saying basically. That he did try to force her into a car and had his hand on her back and shit, trying to push her in, and the lawyer told her. So he was there and he saw it, and so we know. So Dan Snyder trying to like deny it is kind of like, wait a minute, dude, more than one person's making the accusation, brother, that was there. Somebody saw your ass, so there's no. So I don't know. I'm thinking this dude's got. I can't believe if the NFL don't kick his ass out right now. I got a feeling we're gonna have a problem with women boycotting the league. Because it's bad, dude. And there's even talk of Congress possibly looking into the NFL's tax exempt status because of this. And what they're trying to say is, if you're not going to like police your league properly, we may have to take some of that tax exempt issue from your ass. NFL made $8 billion from the taxes they did not pay last year. Which roughly comes to about $250 million per team. Now, with that being said, if the Congress decides to nix that, the NFL's profitability goes down considerably. That's a lot of money.
Of course.
And I think the league needs to say, is Dan Snyder worth it? I mean, I don't know. The problem is these old guys don't want anybody peeping into their shit either.
There's definitely even I feel, especially in the NFL, a fraternity, so to speak, mentality with these old, because the NFL is a lot of these owners have owned these teams for a long time.
Yeah, they stay in the family too, man.
It's called that. It's that old money. Idea, and I agree. You got to look into that. You do have to look into the Giants right now. You got to look into. Into Miami, and it's funny because that's one of the, baseball's in a lockout right now.
Right.
And one of the things that they're trying to prevent and fight is incentives for teams tanking on purpose.
Yeah,
players don't want that, and that's basically what Miami did. It's why and baseball is in a locker right now. It's one of the contentions of the players are trying to fight and have things change so that teams don't tank on purpose.
Yeah, Miami was getting pissed that he was winning games because they didn't want him to win the games. They wanted him to lose more, which I don't get because
I don't get the
their draft pick wasn't coming to them anyway. It was coming to the Eagles. But
I never understood. I mean, I don't get the mentality. You saw the blowback that you guys got 2 years ago.
Yeah.
For throwing that last game.
Because dumbass took Hurts out, I don't, I mean, like I said, no matter what he was trying to do, I can't believe he did. I will say this, the look was bad. That's all you can say. It looked bad. Think about it, and I guess Peckerson didn't. Hey, new coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Woo! All right. Congratulations, Peckerson.
But like we also buried part of the lead on that Washington story. They have a new name.
They have a new name. The Washington
Commanders.
I was once a Redskin.
Cobra Commander in the house.
It took him 2 years.
Dude, those fucking Photoshops showed up so quick.
Yeah, like immediately.
Of course they did.
People are so quick, man.
They've been getting mocked for a couple days now.
It's not a bad name, but
it is.
I don't know. I don't know what they could have come up with to.
I think it's a bad name because people.
I think
people are going to hate it no matter what it was.
Like a lot of people have said this, but I really do think they should have stayed the Washington football team because that way they could have They could have like appealed to overseas shits where like it's like the Arsenal Football Club, the Milan Football Club.
Like soccer,
Fans,
Yeah.
right?
Because
Because they're trying to get into Europe anyways with all the London games and shit, and they
Mhm.
want the
Then
Jaguars in
They
London.
could have renamed the Nationals of Washington baseball team. You know what I mean?
The
No,
Washington Capitals.
no, Sam. They can't do that, Sam. I would not like that.
Have any other teams? They still have a hockey team.
Yeah, that's that. No, they can't
Washington
rename the
hockey
Capitals.
team. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the Capitals are staying right where they are. They can name the Wizards. They can rename the Wizards.
It's consistent
the Bullets,
uniform,
they're
man. Yeah.
I don't think I personally I don't think it's a bad name.
Yeah.
It is what it
It's
is.
gonna be
It's
hard to
I mean, come on. I mean,
Dude, they should get with Hasbro and get a fucking alternate
branding,
fucking
man.
like an alternate Cobra
Yeah.
fucking uniform.
I think that'd be badass.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that wouldn't be such a good thing because then, like, he's the villain of the franchise.
yeah, he is a villainous fuck. Believe me, that guy is a douchebag. That dude got once sued a very small newspaper, a little local newspaper in the city, right?
You know about
Just
Cobra
because
Commander?
they said they put out a story that was that basically called him out on a lot of shit he does, right? Him and his wife both. And he got pissed and he sued him. He tried to sue him out of business. And it backfired on him though, because they got a bunch of people donated money to help him with their legal defense. And then in the PR was so bad for him that he had to withdraw the lawsuit because he looks like an idiot, like a big idiot. That's Dan Snyder. That's him in a nutshell. He's a big bully.
So we got,
and he also likes to touch chicks.
He might be out after this.
Yeah.
He may be. We'll see. But yeah, and then and then the other other
TB12.
TV. Yeah, he actually was official. He officially came out and said it this time.
Yeah.
Like an idiot, like it did last week.
Man.
I was surprised.
Were you really? Did you think
I'm
it was
not.
a bunch of bull?
I'm not.
Well, he played pretty well this past year.
Yeah,
His numbers were great.
I think he proved his point though. I think this was all about showing that he could win without Belichick. He won a ring without Belichick. They almost did it this year again.
Yeah, dude. I wonder. I mean, if they didn't win last year, if he would have still.
Yeah, I mean,
he did.
Yeah,
dude, 22 years, 7 rings.
That's insane. It's insane.
Listen, no one. He owns almost every passing record there is.
Exactly. Like there's nothing but like you definitely got nothing left to prove.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't care who you are. Eventually, Father Time is going to catch up with your ass.
No, it's true. And
he got his ring.
I think he went out before that happened.
Exactly.
Like, he wasn't on like a downturn or anything.
Do you want to be Brett Favre? Remember Brett Favre's last few years?
Yeah. God, he was so. The last year he played was really rough because he couldn't. I don't know. Remember when he left the Jets and he went to Minnesota, right? And he really was there for 2 games. And that was against Green Bay. He just wanted to light Green Bay's ass up, right? He had a really good year, right? Lit Green Bay up, and then the following season, he looked like an old man. He slumped. It was bad. It was real.
He don't want that. He doesn't want that to be. I mean, if I didn't have a ring and I was still playing at his level, sure, maybe I'd keep playing to keep trying to get that ring. But I got 7.
Yeah, he's the most winningest. I mean, he'll. No one will ever win as much as he has. Nobody will. The NFL's not set up for it. They defied the rules. They're not supposed to do that. The NFL is set up so that teams have a hard time repeating. You're not supposed to be able to go back. It's just, but they defied the intent, and they didn't. Hey, good for them. Brady's a beast. I don't know. I mean, happy for him. I'm glad he was retiring because I feel like I kind of agree with you, E. I feel like he's going out on his own terms. That's how I feel like, and there's something to be said for that. When you go out on your terms, that's awesome. That's the ultimate achievement to say, hey, I'm done with the game. Not the game's done with me.
There's nothing worse than watching that over the hill player who's should have retired who should have retired years before they did. And your lasting memories though are how bad he was. Not the 20 years that he was great, The last thing you remember, the last 2 years that he's bad.
Right. I was a big fan of
It's
them.
the same thing.
Too.
It's the same thing in fighting, because like all I can remember,
I think
all I can
way
remember,
more, though.
yeah, all I can remember of Anderson Silva now is him getting his leg broke, and he's
Yeah.
the greatest, and he's the greatest mixed martial artist of all time.
He went up,
But
and
that
he's still boxing and doing well. He's like he's a special example. But Nick, like you probably think of like whenever you see a dude who's like say fought at welterweight for 11 years, and then all of a sudden they drop to lightweight, thinking that like they're gonna make some resurgence, and it just never fucking works, man.
It's rough. It's rough to see.
I mean,
welcome, you know.
I mean, yes, it was an exhibition fight, but that Mike Tyson fight was sad to watch, man.
Yeah.
You know, it was just,
you could tell he was trying not to hurt Roy Jones.
Yeah, and Roy Jones looked even worse. It was just sad to watch. Like, this is the last fight you want to be remembered for.
Yeah, two old guys who are way past their prime.
Yeah, man, especially when and it's like that. That's even a different example because like they're both in the same place, but I feel like BJ Penn kind of did this, Nick, where it's like who was even fighting in his last few fights? Like when they're fighting, when they go to where they're like, you're like BJ Penn's. I don't even know who this dude is that he's fighting. Yeah, then it's like, oh my god!
Well,
like pulling dudes off the street.
No,
they gave
him to some young
like an
killer.
Didn't
they give him to Colby? It was somebody like that.
It's sad though. It's sad, man, to see that.
Yeah, man, because BJ Penn is another fucking example of a fighter with CTE.
He lost to Clay Guida, Ryan. So okay, this is what it was. It was. Yeah. I mean, this dude's got 5 losses in a row. He lost to Nick Diaz, Rory McDonald. Both of those are super respectable. Yeah. Frankie Edgar, same. And then he lost to Yair Rodriguez. But that's the example. Like this, now he's losing to an up and comer who he's good now. But when they fought in this is 2017, he wasn't. Dennis Seaver kind of always been like a middling kind of dude.
Yep.
And then it's like he loses to Ryan Hall. Like that's when you're like having to Google these people, right?
Dude, Ryan Hall was a welterweight contender, man.
Yeah, but he's beaten BJ Penn, right?
Yeah.
And they lost to Clay Guida. But there's just a couple names in there where you're like, who even are these people? That's when it gets like, okay, somebody around this dude tell him to stop, because he's one. He was for a second. He was the best in the world. You know, like he had his moment.
BJ Penn was amazing. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time.
Dude, me too. When he beat Joe Stevenson, he was training right, and he could have beat anyone in the world at that point, even into welterweight. And then he beat Kenny Florian, I think, after that. And then he kind of went back to his bullshit. And
dude, when they brought back that what was it, the featherweight, or was it the lightweight? And he
beat Jens Pulver.
When he beat Jens Pulver after the fucking Ultimate Fighter, he went.
Yeah, because even leading up to that fight, like he was still fucking around a little bit, and like he just wasn't as disciplined. But he was there in the groove for a minute, and it was like just watching him. I was like, he's the best in the world and one of the greatest of all time. If he could string this together, and he never did that. He was never able to do that, man. And it sucks. It sucks.
Oh, dude. Okay, I'm just looking at his record. Before the 2 losses to Frankie Edgar, he stopped Diego Sanchez. That's when the doctor had to make Diego Sanchez stop.
Mm-hmm.
And he
blew his face off, dude.
He choked Kenny Florian unconscious.
Yeah, and Kenny Florian was a killer, dude. Like at the time, that was UFC 101, I think.
Yeah,
that was when Forrest Griffin fought Anderson Silva at light heavyweight and got his brakes beat off. And that was another. It's like Anderson Silva was able to do that. He strung it together. He could have won the light heavyweight title. I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he just dominated middleweight and just beat up these light heavyweight contenders whenever he wanted to. Yeah. But BJ Penn never was able to do that, man. It's a bummer.
Did you know that BJ Penn has fought everywhere from lightweight to fucking heavyweight?
That's insane. God damn, he's up and down the fucking weight.
Dude, he fought Lyoto Machida at fucking heavyweight.
In Japan or somewhere. It was before Lyoto Machida was Lyoto Machida.
He must have been
For
like
his little
at
moment,
the very minimum of heavyweight. Probably
He was
gotta
No,
be
he
up
weighed.
there.
He probably weighed like 189 or something
Yeah,
like
He
that.
was
must've got
191,
It was just
and
fat.
Machida was 225.
Yeah.
Good God, damn, that's a hell of a.
So
damn.
so that was in 2005, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to 2007, and that's when he's all the way down to lightweight.
But when he
That's
lightweight
insane.
was his
That's
perfect
insane.
weight, man. It was his perfect weight. And when he was training right, and he just
That's crazy.
he got that little window, and man,
Was it the Joe Stevenson fight where he started licking his gloves?
Yeah, because he cut up Joe Stevenson. Joe Stevenson looked like a fucking asshole the whole fight. He's like, like yelling and screaming and stuff, running at BJ Penn, has nothing for him. BJ Penn slaps him up, cuts him, chokes him. He's got a rear naked choke, and Joe Stevenson's laying there, and blood just like 4 feet in the air out of his forehead, dude. Oh, insane, man.
That's rough, dude. I tell you, I forget how amazingly gross and shit some of the fights can be.
Have you guys ever heard of a fighter? Now, this is my favorite fighter of all time, and it just because off of one fight. His name was Jeff Munson.
Yeah, the Snowman.
Snowman.
Dude, he was a heavyweight in the goon, but he was really smart and like really I think he was like an open communist.
He wasn't around very long. How long was he?
No. He was around in like it was like 2005. He fought for a UFC title against Tim Sylvia.
I just don't remember him. I just don't remember him being around very long though.
He wasn't, and this was in like the UFC dark days when their heavyweight division sucked so bad because Pride had everybody, and everybody could do steroids. And but he came out to Imagine like John Lennon,
when he fought Tim Sylvia.
Yeah, and then it was the most boring fight in the world.
Dude, what made me
I liked him though.
What made him my favorite fighter is he fought, I think, Brandon.
He had terrible politics, but he was funny.
He fought Brandon Lee Hinckley and made him froth at the mouth with a north-south choke.
Yeah.
And the video has been scrubbed from the internet. You can't find it.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, because
it's burned into my brain. I watched that so much.
It was coming out of his mouth like.
Yeah.
That's horrible, dude.
So we hit everything.
We get on those old UFC rants, man.
But it was good. There was some good times back in those days, man. Bro, shit. So I don't know.
You just forget about shit, man. You know what I mean? Like
I remember I was a big Chuck Liddell fan.
Oh hell yeah!
I remember him having a couple fights that I was with later on in his career.
Nick, one day we gotta go through just that Pride middleweight. Because middleweight in Japan was light heavyweight in the US. It's like, dude, like somebody like Ricardo Arona. It's just a fucking killer, man.
Dude,
did nothing. Never came to the US. He didn't make it.
Like whenever I find out anybody's a fight fan, I do it on Hangouts all the time. I show them that motherfucking Don Fry Takayama fight. Greatest fight I've ever seen in my life.
But it's like, in Pride, like they just had those dudes just juiced to the gills, man.
The fucking Yakuza ran Pride.
Yeah, man.
It's like they were telling them, they were like, "Yeah, take the drugs, get big, make us money."
My new obsession.
There's a weird, and then like you get this somewhat with people. I mean, it's like look at the Royal Rumble with Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey, right? But in Japan, there's much more of an overlap between professional wrestling and mixed martial arts. Where it's like it's meant to,
especially with Pancrase.
Yeah, and it's meant to be a spectacle.
Yeah, I know.
Even mixed martial arts, whereas in the UFC they try to treat it more as
because of the history of sumo.
Yeah. My biggest obsession now is that guy
and Kabuki.
Patty the bratty Patty.
Oh yeah, he's funny, man.
He makes me laugh so much, dude.
He's silly, dude.
All the shit he talks.
Ralphie brought up Rampage. So like Ricardo Arona, if you've seen him, it's probably because he had Quentin Jackson a triangle choke in Pride. Jackson planned him and knocked him out, and it sucks because like that's what Ricardo Arona's known for. I feel like that dude was he was a killer.
He was a fucking monster.
Oh my gosh, I can go on.
Those guys, man.
I'll shut up.
Yeah,
they all have
dude,
have their
maybe we do that for something else. We'll talk about that.
We'll figure something out.
That's not bad.
We can
but Hey, EE, you watched Vox Machina, right?
I'm sorry. What? I was falling asleep while you guys were talking about all that nonsense.
You watched Vox Machina, right?
Yes, I did.
Cool. If you want to stay on for a bit, man, we're gonna hit Vox Machina, or you can go ahead and pop. It's up to you.
Sure.
All
No,
right,
I feel
cool.
like you guys set me up. So let's get E on. Let's talk about the Giants and piss them off.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Actually,
least it's
I was
your
trying
birthday.
to be honest with you, it's your birthday, and I was trying to tread lightly because I didn't want to piss you off too bad. So I was trying to be very nice about how I spoke on this because, I'm just trying to be nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me a couple seconds and I'll get this. So basically, what we wanted to talk about is there is a new show on Amazon Prime called The Legend of Vox Machina. And what it's about is there was EE helped me out with this because you brought up a good point when we were talking about this earlier. There was a show on Twitch where a bunch of nerdy voice actors came together and were live streaming their Dungeons and Dragons game. Critical Role. And so this went on for hundreds of episodes, and they were I forget I think they were doing a Kickstarter for their first book. And if they thought they never thought they'd reach it, but they made 10 mil off that Kickstarter.
Holy shit.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And so it funded an animated series.
Yeah.
So this is an animated series based on their Dungeons and Dragons game.
That answers all my questions because I watched this and I was just like, I saw it said like at the title like Critical Role. I didn't know if that was like a thing. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know if that was like a franchise or property or whatever. So
yeah, it's weird for me because I have something in common with my daughter.
And I'm guessing that was like a during COVID thing, right? I'm guessing.
Definitely, man.
Dude,
but
crazy.
Yeah, me and my daughter is a fan of that stuff. So she would listen to their show actually.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a fan of it. And so when I told her I was watching it, she goes, "Oh no shit, you're watching that?" Yeah. I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, cool."
You're welcome, Dave.
So
Dave said he finished it today. So what up?
Nice. We're only going to talk about the first. What I have prepared, if you guys are cool, is I have like a real quick bio on all the cast.
Sure.
And then I figured we could talk about the first 3 episodes and go home.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. Good. So let me just pull this crap up and we'll get rocking and rolling.
I actually watched episode 4 earlier today, so I still have to watch 5 and 6. I've got it yet, but I'll get
the best way I can describe this to people: take the Lord of the Rings settings, right? Take the Fellowship, turn them into a bunch of drunk assholes. Like a little bit of drunk assholes, a little bit of like the boys mixed in, and just watch and laugh.
That's a necessary comparison, man. So I turned this on and I had my kids in the room, and turn on episode 1, and 30 seconds ago I was like, okay, pause.
Yep.
Scram. Get out of here.
Yep. Y'all got to go.
I can't watch this with you.
Oh man, it's amazing, dude. It's amazing.
I can't get the photos to work the way I want.
It's all right.
Oh my god, that's
all right. So, all right. Basically, the cast was Matt Mercer, who was the dungeon master. He in the show, one of the characters that's a recurring character is Gilmore, the shopkeeper. Like Matt Mercer played all of those characters, and he also does a lot of voices. He does a lot of the voices in the show. Also, he voices Silas.
Lord Silas. Yep.
And he also has what they did was there's a NPC in every episode that's drawn exactly like him, and he voices it. So he has at least a voice for every show, and he also does the noises for Trinket. What he's known for professionally is he's McCree from Overwatch, and he was also Hit from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, so I will
I
say,
didn't know
like,
he did that.
I kept pausing, like, just hearing the voices and everything. I kept pausing because on Amazon, like, they have that super helpful, like, you pause it and the cat shows up, and it's just like all over the place. The animation looks like spot on from that of like Young Justice. Like,
I thought it looked like had a little bit of Castlevania in there to me. But
yeah. So I wonder
Titmouse Studios is doing the anime.
Okay.
The animation.
I'll look into that.
They might be on Young Justice. They did a whole crap. As a matter of fact, they do Young Justice. They were Cartoon Network and Adult Swim.
Okay.
Like they used to do. I believe they did the Venture Brothers too.
It's good though. I love the animation.
Thank you, E. I was about to answer Brink's question. Thanks, E. So the next character would be Keyleth, and she's a druid. She's played by Marisha Ray, who is Matt Mercer's wife, the DM's wife. She's a producer, a writer, and a voice actress in her own right. She hasn't really done anything that people would know. The next character on the show would be Grog. He's a barbarian. He's a half giant. You know, he's your big dude.
He's funny.
Yeah,
he's good. I like him.
And he's played by a dude named Travis Willingham. Now, he's been Thor in a whole amount of like animated projects. He's done the Thor voice in like all the Marvel video games and shit too. Avengers Assemble, Ultimate Spider-Man, all those cartoons on Disney. For the last couple of video games, he's been Knuckles from Sonic.
Oh, cool.
And he's also Cell in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
oh, nice, dude. Yeah,
I didn't know he was doing Dragon. I knew he did a lot of video game stuff. I didn't know he was in Dragon Ball Z. Damn.
There's a lot of overlap there too, Russ, between like video games and it's like whatever your kind of like more common TV shows are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this next one is Laura Bailey. She's Travis Willingham's wife.
Right.
And she's probably outside of this the second most famous cast member. At 5 years old, she was Chi-Chi for Dragon Ball.
Oh shit!
Like regular Dragon Ball in 1986.
I'll say that would have been like a long time ago.
Right.
You know, like
now, more recently for Dragon Ball, she's been Trunks.
Oh, cool! All right.
Okay.
Like
and
the version.
Yeah. And she's also done like Gogeta and stuff. She's the voice for Gogeta and a few others too. Jaina Proudmoore in World of Warcraft. She does the voice of, and probably the biggest thing is Abby in The Last of Us.
Oh yeah, that's one definitely. Yeah,
and she's actually won BAFTAs for her voice acting in those video games and stuff. The next one is my man Sam Regal. He plays Scanlan the gnome.
By the way, the best character on the show. Just saying.
Okay. Yeah, man, I love Scanlan.
Like, early on,
badass.
He and I think it showed through him. Like I was like, okay, I get that they can use whatever language they want, but like after it was like maybe halfway through the first episode, I was like, they're doing it too much to where it almost was like a gimmick, right? And it's like it was getting like overused, but then I think it was just him, and then it's like you get to realize that like this is just how this dude is. And then you kind of get used to everything. So he was silly and he was funny, man. I enjoyed him.
He's just an over drinking, overeating horn dog, dude. It's great.
Yeah, man.
Hey, same, man.
Now he was Donatello on, I think it was the Fox Kids TMNT, the one that ran from started in 2003. He was
that was a good show.
Yeah, man.
That was a good show.
He's been Starscream in a bunch of games. He was the voice for Starscream in War for Cybertron, Fall for Cybertron, and all that shit.
Damn.
His wife is not on the show. She did play a character later on, but they were actually at Ground Zero during 9/11, and his wife took photos and like. She had like a soul crushing career as an accountant, and then like unfortunately, like they were at Ground Zero, so she took photos. She went to the New York Times, and the next day she was able to change her career to a fucking professional photographer.
That's amazing, dude. People,
Wow.
it's incredible.
Yeah, just
And
fucking amazing.
quick comment regarding the language that they use.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it if it was us.
Yeah,
True,
for sure.
true.
The F,
That's
I
why
mean,
I feel like it took me just like getting used to a little bit.
I dropped the F bomb is like core to my language at this point in life.
And that's like,
You know,
around my kids too, you know.
Like I can't. I don't think I can talk without dropping an F bomb. Fuck.
Yeah, Anna gets on my case about it because I'll do it like in crowded places. I'll with little kids around, you know, and she's like,
Yeah.
watch your
Yeah.
mouth. Like, I know. Yeah, like I be at Walmart. I'm going over to look at the toy section. We're looking, take a little toy hunting, and sometimes I won't pay attention to my surroundings. I'm
It's like there's no G.I. Joe's.
Fuck, man. There's no goddamn no Black Series. And she'll look at me. She'll go, "Would you chill out?"
No, and if you drive, if you drive with kids in the car, you're cursing at every fucking driver around you.
Oh yeah.
You know. I mean, I know some of you guys saw the video I took when I mean, it was wrong to encourage, but I was like, what is mommy? What does the horn do? And you heard my daughter say, the horn says fucking shit. Yeah, because that's what she picked up from my mother. That's what she picked up from her mother. When my mother honks the horn, she's yelling, she's like fucking shit, and she has to honk the horn, so she, you know.
Oh my god, dude,
that's funny shit.
It is. I mean, it's. Anna's mother used to get so mad at me because RJ would pick up really bad language from me when he was little.
Oh,
and Anna's mom would get so pissed at me when she was alive.
Hey, just real quick because I forgot. Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham's wife, she plays Vax, who is a half-elf ranger.
Yes,
I forgot her character. Sorry.
Yeah, she's pretty cool actually. I like her. She's kind of one of the more stable characters on the team. I guess she's more.
She's a competent one.
She's competent.
Like sister, right?
You know what, Nick? That's the word to use. She's competent.
She's a competent one. But I don't think she's not the moral compass either for them.
No, she's not. But she's more. But she's competent, and she does have though. Sometimes it's like what I've seen so far. She's got the ability to let's think this through for a minute, or let's calm down for a minute. Not to say she won't do anything fucked up, but I'm just saying.
All right, so the next one is the actor and director Liam O'Brien. You'll like this one, E. He was Pike, Bolo, and Scrapper on Bad Batch.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Red Skull on all those like Disney Avengers cartoons, and he's a voice director for a bunch of stuff too, and that's how he met most of the people. The home game that Critical Role started out of. They started because it was a game that Matt Mercer ran for Liam O'Brien for his birthday.
That's fucking cool, dude. I love the backstory of this. It's cool as shit.
So Liam plays the other twin, Vax'ildan.
Yeah, and
so they're Vax and Vex. Her name is Vexalia, and his is Vax'ildan. The next, go ahead.
Cool. I was like, he's
a rogue. He's
a rogue, cool. And he's kind of like that handsome devil, you know. And he's got you know, and he seems like he's a pretty intelligent guy too, but he's brash a little bit, like
Next one is Ashley Johnson. Now she was Patterson on the show Blind Spot on NBC. It was about the lady with the tattoos and stuff. She played like some kind of techie girl on that show. She's also in The Last of Us, which I know is popular in our circles. She played Ellie, and she also won a BAFTA for that. And for those of us with kids, she's been Gwen Tennyson on the Ben 10 series since the 90s.
Oh, dude. Okay. All right.
Hey, that's a great series, and that's like one of those ones like. Hold on a second. You might watch with your kids, but it's a good show. You know what I mean? Like that's a good show.
Sure.
So the last one that you see is the Goth King himself. He plays Percy Taliesin Jaffe. He was Blanca from Street Fighter V. He was High Lord Darian Mograine from WoW. And if you ever watched Kenny Butler, Mr. Mom, he was the little kid Kenny Butler on that shit.
Yep. Yeah. It's a cool cast.
Yeah. Now, if you guys ever go back and start to watch the show on Twitch, you will notice there's another cast member that isn't in the animation. Okay, there was a dragonborn sorcerer. I believe he was a sorcerer that they had in the party, played by actor Orion Akaba, named Tibbs. Yeah, and unfortunately, there was some situation where he had to leave the show. There's rumors about it because, of course, whenever anybody leaves a show or leaves a place of business, there's going to be rumors.
We know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So basically, what the rumors are is that he ran a charity stream for someone that worked for him on his Twitch channel because their father died and it was for funeral expenses, and he never reimbursed that person. Yeah, and then also if you watch some of the episodes, he was in like 26 or 27 episodes, and some of those you can see him losing his shit when shit doesn't go his way. There's accusations and there's videos on it that he cheated on stream and got caught doing it. Unfortunately, the man does have HIV.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
And what he says is that he had HIV, he had cancer, HIV, and because of those, he had a drug addiction problem, and that affected his personal relationships, and that's why he left Critical Role, is what he says. So there's your little controversy for the show.
Every show needs one, right?
Yeah. But what did you guys think, man? Like for the first 3 episodes?
Okay, well, Sam, you want to go first?
Yeah, I was so like like I said, like there's like that one kind of theme that bothered me, but then by the end of episode 1, I was like, okay, this is cool. And then once I feel like through episode 2, by the end of that episode, you saw them kind of work as a team. Not that they needed to like gel as a team, but like we just needed to see it. And then kind of once that was established, I was on board. You know, it always takes me a few episodes of a show to like kind of get to where I want to be. But I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a different take on some kind of common tropes. And
the character of the general in the first 3, that was that dude. That was David Tennant.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
From Doctor Who.
Purple
that
Man.
Was him doing that voice.
They've got, like I said, they've got some people for this show, man.
Yeah,
and it's like when you look and it's like all the voice acting that these people have done, like are obviously good.
Yeah, definitely. That
would be the best. I feel like as far as like acting goes, like that would be the best route to go, is to be a voice actor, because like you sit in the studio and do 2 hours of work. You know what I mean? Like,
nice. But so what do you think about what do you think about the characters? I love them all, but of course,
I thought they're super relatable. You know?
Yeah. I think that's kind of what I like about them.
Because I'd be like that big, what's that big mongoloid's name? I'd be getting drunk.
Grog.
Yeah. They're
like
all
broke and
in some way.
For sure.
But that's what makes them cool. Sorry.
I love how they started it off in a tavern.
Me too.
Because anytime you play D&D, that's gonna be the first thing most of your dungeon masters are gonna tell you. You arrive at a tavern. Yep. And so they did that, and then you get the introduction to all the characters, and you get to see a cool little fucking fight, and it puts you right into the story.
Poor Stanley was getting him.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I've had like zero interaction with D&D. You know what I mean? Other than kind of just hearing about it.
Oh, we'll see. Okay.
And I feel like if I did, I would have appreciated this more. You know what I mean? Not that I didn't like it. I enjoyed it, and I am enjoying it. I'm going to keep watching it. But
I did when I was younger. I mean, I haven't had any recent, exposure to D&D. I did when I was younger, though. But this is the only reason why I like this show is because I don't have that connection to that. And I didn't listen to Critical Role. I know I've heard of it, but I haven't listened to it. So I don't have anything to go off of. This show is just fresh the way it is to me. And I like
me too. Cool. That's what because I was wondering about that because I didn't know like what the Inception because I don't know. I didn't know if Critical Role was like a game or like I don't know. You know what I mean? So I was like, but I enjoy or I am enjoying it.
Right, and I think I might be enjoying it more, to be honest with you, because I don't have that
unfettered,
right.
And you're not going to have anything like to compare like what happened during the game.
Yes,
because Tibbs was a very important character in the beginning of the stream, and he's just completely out.
Yeah. My daughter has had trouble watching it because of that. Because she listens to Critical Role and stuff. So she's kind of like, what she told me, she said, what she told me, she goes, she shook her head and she goes, a lot of changes. Yeah. I told her, I said, they do. Well, it's a show.
They have changed. Basically, they start the campaign. They start the show a little bit later than the campaign did. Yeah, they start you in the show like at a good point where them cutting Tibbs out doesn't affect the story as much.
Right. Where they can adjust it,
Yeah, so this first arc was trying to find out who was destroying all these towns in the kingdom. It's basically a fantasy your basic fantasy kingdom, and there's a beastie roasting these towns, and they send the Vox Machina to go ahead and find out who the hell is doing this, and that basically runs us down into the entire story. We find the court of Exandria, Tal'Dorei. We meet the fucking ruling people. We meet Gilmore, the shopkeep.
Yeah.
What y'all think of Gilmore? Did y'all like him?
He's funny.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, he's out there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, did you guys were there any side characters that you guys liked or anything like that? Or moments that you guys noticed?
I like I don't want to give too much away. I don't give anything away.
We're doing spoilers because the first three were the first three were last week, and it's a 25-minute show. So we're going to talk about the next three next week because that's what aired today. Well, but spoil the fuck out of it.
There are two villains, and they're definitely villains that I like. They're couple of vampires.
The Briarwood.
That's 4, 5, 6. That's 4, 5, 6. Stop.
Well, they get introduced.
No, it's not. They were introduced in
3.
3.
Yeah, but you find everything out in 4, 5, 6. Hush up.
I know.
Yeah. Talk about them.
I'm not saying anything else. I just said I like them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say nothing more about them. I know. I don't. That's why I said I don't want to give anything away, but they are introduced in the third episode. Yeah. So. And they're they're I'm not going to go into anything. They're I like them. I think they're badass.
Those two for me, like the dragon was cool and everything, but I really think those first 2 episodes served as in a way to introduce the characters, right?
Yeah.
But those two that got introduced in 3, which is where I stopped. They were super interesting to me, and I'm really excited to see what they do with those.
Yeah, so basically 1 and 2 get your feet wet into the world and get you introduced to
the cast, basically.
Yeah. and then like 3, 4, 5, and 6, where you get there, that's where it starts running.
Well, shit definitely starts heating up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But and I wasn't sure how they were going to go in. And when you're watching, the first, second, and third episode, you're kind of like, okay, there's more to it than what you see so far, right? And then you get to episode 3, and that's when you kind of go, oh, okay. You automatically know something, is going on, and it's like, because you're waiting for the big baddie. Who's the big baddie going to be? And you're waiting, and then sometimes I don't even know the way this show is so far. I'm wondering if who you think might be the big bad, it might not be the big bad. It might be someone worse.
And see, I don't know why. I saw something somewhere that said basically that there was going to be like a extra long season 1, but that's not true. Season 1 is going to be 12 episodes, and they've already greenlit season 2, and that's going to be 12 episodes also.
Well, sounds good. Okay, so we got some.
So we got at least 2 more weeks, and that's 6 more episodes.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's really good. So I mean, it's if you haven't, anyone who hasn't seen it, I would check it out. Amazon Prime, it's free.
Yeah.
If you got Prime, I liked it, and I'm not a huge D&D guy or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just
see,
enjoyed
like
it.
I think that like there's a stigma attached to D&D that it's like that dirty nerdum that's like the dirtiest of dirties. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Like another level of nerddom.
Yeah,
that people might be comfortable with.
So like labeling it with the D&D paintbrush might be daunting to some people, but it is its own thing.
It is. I think so.
It actually started as a Pathfinder game, but they changed it to D&D when they started doing the live stream, just because the rules were easier and made it better for putting out a product for streaming.
Sure. No, that way, somebody else and everyone's heard of Dungeons. Even if you've never played it in your life, you've heard of it.
Yeah,
it's something that it's
dude. Seriously, thanks to Stranger Things, man.
Yeah,
of course,
absolutely. Because that's like the kids in my middle school talk about Dungeons and Dragons because of Stranger Things. Like,
well, Stranger Things made it mainstream now.
Yeah, right, exactly. So it's back in that even I don't know, even when we were younger and we played it, I don't know if it was mainstream. I just know that there were definitely people that even back when I played it, that would say, "You want to play with us?" No, too nerdy for me, Another level, I guess they can't reach that.
But like, I want to have I've already talked to him, and he's agreed to do it when he gets a chance. I'm gonna have my shop owner on with us to talk about D&D, because it's crazy what the pandemic did to D&D. D&D has had its biggest years ever during the pandemic.
Oh, nice, man. Good. Love to hear it.
And especially
not surprised.
I mean, you can do it through Zoom, right?
Yeah. They actually have like their own like dedicated platforms and stuff, like Roll20. So you hit a button and your dice rolls right on the screen for everybody to see.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
They've had that stuff. They've had that. I'd imagine they've had it for D&D for some time, but like they have that for like Pokemon and like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, where it's like basically the same idea, where it's like you show up and you can like play what you have in hand, but like virtually,
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So I didn't hear you say you're obviously watching the show too. What do you think?
I think it's great. I mean, I'm loving it so far. I pre-ordered the McFarlane figures already.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that. I was thinking that. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking Diamonds collected it, but
no, it's McFarlane on down Amazon.
It's better. It's better.
Oh, shit.
McFarlane's doing it,
dude. Sideshow is doing fucking statues.
Yeah, I saw the statues.
Really?
Wow.
There's a novel for Vex and Vax.
Who writes it, Nick? Do you know?
I don't know who wrote the novel, but they have a whole entire comic series from Dark Horse. like Matt Mercer, the DM, writes a lot of it, and like they work with Dark Horse in order to like make it close as possible, and like they've worked stuff from the comics into the game on stream, and they've worked like it like they interconnect everything. They have a merch store that has like a bunch of stuff. That big black hoodie that I wore, like that cloak, that's from them. I think when at TFCon I wore my don't forget to love each other shirt. That's from them too. Yeah. Like D&D has become so huge, and it's like so intermarried with Critical Role. It's amazing.
It's badass, dude. That's really cool.
Just real quick in the chat, I had put him up. Ralphie says he's never played it. He feels like he's missing something. Well,
I've never played either, Ralphie.
I would. I've been wanting to run a game on stream for a long time, and like that's what I want is people that have never played. People that are lapsed players and want to come back and stuff. I'm going to put it together when I can, and I figure it's going to be like a once or twice a month thing, because doing it every week would be way too time prohibitive.
Yeah, it's tough to get things done with it.
Yeah.
When you're limited, when you're trying to, you're limited, but I don't know. I think it can be tough to dedicate the time to it. That's what I say.
Well, I've got this podcast. I'm playing in a game on Tuesdays. I'm going to be running a game again soon. So like I've got a bunch of stuff going on. So like doing it more than twice a month would definitely be time prohibitive.
Yeah, it's tough. But
like once you start role playing, it's an addiction, man. It really is.
It can be fun.
it's like it's a muscle you don't know you have until you flex it.
Yeah, and you can be creative. You can be a little creative. It's kind of fun. You can it's pretty cool. I always enjoyed it. I haven't played in a long time, but it was always a good time. We would smoke pot and shit. Me and my friends, it was good, man. Get all high, be like, oh yeah. Good times, man.
And like I've told people like in hangouts and stuff, but this game shop is in the perfect fucking place. It's in a plaza that's got a sushi joint right next door, and they walk your sushi into the game store for you to your table.
Dude. That's how you do it, man.
And then they got a bar. They've got a tap bar.
Jesus Christ.
So you've got craft brew. Man. You have craft brew right down there, and you just go, and you can get pitchers there, or you can get like the those coolers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Badass, man. That's how you do it, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it where you're like, hey, I can adult and play Dungeons and Dragons. So awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I think this is probably about a natural place to leave off.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good, dude.
Yeah.
They're doing a hangout, right?
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah. Lowry already posted the link up.
Yeah. So like again, that's something that we have running at the same time as the show. So, people can interact and watch the show how they want and interact how they want. I had fun again this week, guys. I hope you guys did too.
Good time, dude.
Thanks for the invite. Thanks for having me.
Oh no,
hey,
dude.
thanks for coming on, dude.
I appreciate you jumping on.
You're locked in for a year now.
So now, it was good to have you on because it's easy to like talk about something like that, but not have that fan perspective either. I mean, you're a Giants fan, so you get to kind of say, "Hey, look, I've been a fan of this team for a long time. I know how this ownership is. Whether or not you think there's any validity to it, that kind of thing. It's cool. It's good to get the other side a little bit.
And I just like hitting on what you're saying right there, Russ. I just want to say something right now. If we ever have or speak on an issue like we did, like the Rooney Rule, and we have any people of color in our fucking audience, or black dudes, Puerto Rican dudes, purple people, Chinese people that want to come on and like rebut a point that we made, or if there's an issue
we overlooked or something.
Right. I'm all about that, man. And I understand what it looks like with like three white dudes sitting here talking about the Rooney Rule. That's
a good point. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
That's not fucking ideal.
Yeah, I didn't even. I mean, I was so busy just saying the story that I wasn't even thinking about how it was fucking look. I was like,
it's fine for us to talk about it, but at the same time, like, I want to give people in the community, if they're they want to speak on something, the opportunity to speak on.
And I would like to think that if the situation was reversed and it was, let's say, the Eagles being accused of this, I'd be coming to their defense also on what's been said so far. I know coming from you, if it's Giants, oh fuck the Giants, and I'm kind of the same way. It's Eagles, oh fuck the Eagles, they're wrong. I don't give a shit what happened.
If the Eagles were accused of this, I'd be like, fucking Jeffrey Lurie, God damn it.
Now.
Now the Eagles have hired a black head coach in the past, so I'm not going to. I would never accuse them of that, but I would say this. This is something that I've heard. I heard somebody say that. Who was it? It was one of the sport. It was on sport, one of the shows. One of them, and he actually said, "Well, the Giants have never hired a black head coach."
I believe that is true.
I said, "Well, wait a minute now. I don't know that. I get that, but that's kind of to mention that. Does that mean though that they're
But
that
it's
won't
something.
Hire a black head coach? I don't know.
Exactly, but it's something that's going to be mentioned.
I know. But all right. I'm sorry. I'll get into it.
Oh, sorry, man. Shit, I don't care. We're still under 11, bro. We've only been going for like an hour and 45.
Hey, nice. All right. We're doing
I was just saying that it felt like a natural place to stop, unless you guys wanted to have.
No, you're good, dude.
All right. So, thank everybody for tuning in this week. Hopefully, you'll come back next week. Loved having you guys. Thank you, EE, Sam, Russ.
Yeah, man. Thank all you guys in the chat too. Appreciate it.
Any opportunity to come on here and yell at Russ and make him look like a fool, I'm down for it.
Absolutely. It's not difficult, man. It's not hard.
Not hard.
True. It's not. I do it myself all the time. It's all good.
All right. I love you guys.
Later, guys.
All right.
Peace,
love, and hair grease. We're out.
Peace.
That's funny.